Hey, what's up, guys? This is T-Bone here. Welcome to another stream. And today we're going to be playing through some of the event, and we're going to talk about some of the current just cards, the deck ideas that we can use. So, as you know from the last time that we did the stream where I went live and opened some packs in the vault, I wasn't able to get any of the ultra rare card or the Master Collection card, but I did have the Slayer Ultimate form from the previous Slayer event, and that actually has turned out to be a really good card to use. And so I wanted to just share with everybody like sort of how I'm playing the deck, and also how I'm able to get the overkill for the ultra kill bosses. And also, if we have time, maybe we can also today, maybe what we can do is we can talk with some of you, and also take a look at your cards and see what we can do with your teams. And so, a couple things. Just curious how everybody's doing with their events here. And let's see. So first, let me take a quick look here. So last time, actually, I briefly took a look at the pack, and it looks like they had come out with a different set of packs, but it looks like it's back to the cash packs plus another 1,000 gem packs. I'm not sure if anybody has actually opened any of them so far, and also what your luck has been like. But I'm gonna save my gems for the next event. Waiting for the Water Slayer event, so I'm going to actually be opening some packs there. So Kenny's Bim, welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining me here. All right, so a couple of things I wanted to talk about. Number one is just if you have Ray, so we recently had these Ascended events where you can get Ray and also the Catalyst to be able to ascend it to a Ascended Ray. She is really a helpful card, and I'm going to explain why. And so we see 2300 Akiko, welcome to the stream here. And one of the reasons she's really good is because she provides both Slayer and also Commander bonus. And so she gets the boost from Slayer cards. And in this case, I'm actually using my Slayer ultimate form here, and he is boosting my my Ray. And she also creates 4 power gems on turn 1 and every 4 turns. And so it's actually a really helpful card. Plus the commander bonus actually is more. It actually provides more damage boost than you might imagine. And so I'm gonna talk about a few variations of the card, the decks I have. We're gonna kind of walk through them, and I'll take some questions. And if there's anything that I can do to help you with your event, please let me know. So we got more people here. We got Don, Hanske, Catherine, Demos, and Reaper, Annabelle. Welcome to the stream. And so before we continue though, there's one thing I said I wanted to share with everybody, and that is something I worked on for a little while, and I sort of just kind of let it sit for a while, because I just kind of wanted to get a sense and feel of how I liked it. And so I actually was able to get my design on Amazon, and so you can now actually get swag if you want it to. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the link with you so that you can take a look here. This is where you can actually get the first version of the shirt that I have that is available on Amazon. It's nice because I don't actually have to worry about shipping. You can actually order it yourself, and then get the shipping and everything handled for you. And so take a look. I am also thinking about another design, and so I do want to get your thoughts afterwards. I will show you what I'm thinking about. And basically, the first iteration, it's really just a the basic design, and with the original logo. And then I'm actually also thinking about doing something like this, where I invert the color a little bit. Let me know if you like that. I'm working on getting that approved as well. So, anyways, just wanted to share that with you guys. And I was happy to be able to do the giveaways, but it's hard to meet the demand. And I know everybody, there's a lot of people that wanted one. So hopefully this works for you. So yes, so let's go ahead and take a look at some options here. So I'm showing you a deck here that I'm using. This is actually what I'm using for ultra kills. And we actually haven't tried this deck. I haven't tried this one yet, but I'm also going to sort of show you how Commander and Slayer cards work, and you can I wanted to show you sort of the damage difference here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what it was like when I used my full setup using the Slayer card with one single rate here, so basically a 4x Commander bonus. Now, if you have these cards, this is actually a really good combination to use, and so I'm just gonna go ahead and show you with the killer bonus as well. And so this is, you know, also a really good one-turn deck, just because all of these cards generate power gems on turn 1. And so with that, and included with it also the relics, you can just get a lot of damage. So we're going to start by taking a look at how much damage it can look, and you can also sort of estimate how much damage just by looking at the ultimate form there. So it was 51 billion on a single card. Okay, so this is with a single ray and with 4 of the Slayer cards. Now, that actually gave more power gems total, but because there's less commander cards on the deck, it actually gave a little less damage output. And this is where having multiple copies of the legend cards, your generation 1 legends, actually comes in handy. Now we're going to put in two rates in here. We're going to compare the damage again. So this is something I wanted to sort of show, where if you can, a good mix of Commander and Slayer cards is going to be the best combination for damage output, and this is why I generally invest in Slayers more than I do in Commander. And so, Kiko, you want a cap? Yeah, unfortunately they don't sell caps. They do sell shirts and other swag, but they don't have caps yet. So unfortunately that's not available, but that might be something I could try and make available in the future. And so I didn't see the exact amount, but I know that you can see that it was actually a bit more. I think it was in the 60s or something like that. And now what we're going to do is we're going to put one more rate in here. And this is where we're going to have, 12 times the commander bonus plus just 2 Slayer cards. But because of the ultimate form, all of the cards in this deck are actually boosted by the ultimate form. And so this is why I say, like, if you have a Slayer ultimate form, and you happen to get the matching killer bonus, it's always a good idea, I think, to try combine that with a legend card. And so now you can see this now is the ultimate form is up to like 80 billion. And what I did was I specifically did a 3 and 2 power gem match just to keep it consistent across all 3. And some people actually ask me a question like what molten trophies are. These are actually the trophies toward the sort of season-long trophy count for you to be able to get a warden. And so in this particular case, it actually was better in terms of damage to have three copies of Ray and 2 copies of the Slayer cards here. This is just for turn 1. And if you wanted more damage, it's actually better for you than to put it in the event cards. So whether it's a support card or the main card, they actually will do better. And so this is what I did. I ended up switching out Ray, and then I put in these 2 cards, and this is currently my best combination at the moment. And I'm gonna show you this. So this currently gives me 24 commander bonus. So it may not be the biggest turn 1 hit, but I can do a lot more damage later on. And so that is that's kind of something I want to explain a little bit. And we also see Teresa and Yvonne joining us here. So thanks for joining us in the stream here. And so I'm just curious how everybody's doing there. And what we're going to do is we're going to take out a couple more bosses, and then we're going to use another team to take out solo legends, because I wanted to also want to talk about other options. If you don't have the Slayer ultimate form, what are your options? What should you do? So we're definitely going to take a look there. And remember, one of the things I mentioned is I definitely think that having multiple copies of support card is going to be a very important sort of factor in this. And so we're going to talk about that. So Catherine, what other Slayer card am I using with the ultimate form? I put in the Master Collection card here just so that I can get the additional power gems. Now, if you have other Slayer cards, Fire Slayer cards that can generate quite a bit of power gems, then you could actually put that in as well. And so Crimson, the Reaper, I am using 1 key currently, yes. And where can you get Crimson? Crimson is actually available in the Dust store. You can get it for 20 Dust, but the thing is, it is a, so you can see here in the Dust shop, you can get it in the 20 Dust store, but it is an ultra rare card, and so the chances of pulling her isn't going to be high. I've heard a lot of people, having a hard time finding her, and also at last event having a hard time getting the Golden Guardian. It's there. It's just really hard to. It's just really hard to pull. You'll need some patience, and you'll need some dust as well. And so I think we need. So I think we are good here. So we're gonna go ahead and take out the boss here. And so this is. So what I need to do is I need to do a 1-turn damage, because the thing that you need to be able to balance as well is the fact that the overkill bosses in the sort of the mid level, their health is just low enough that if you have a killer bonus, that you might actually take it out without getting the full 200%. And so for me, like, I needed to maximize my damage, and then once it's high enough, then I need to reduce a little bit so that I could reduce my my turn 1 damage, and then deal out damage later. So this is actually 1 key right here on turn 1, and so I could actually take out the boss with sufficient overkill. This is prestige, so I haven't prestiged yet. This is all at level 0. I haven't actually gone up to 300 just yet, and we're gonna go ahead. And so here's the thing, right? So I don't have the killer bonus, and so this is where let's see, this is where I'm going to switch over to use my I'll use the commanders. So because I don't have the killer bonus, I'm at a little bit of a disadvantage here, but I still can play here. And this is where you want to actually minimize. You don't want to deal too much damage and accidentally take out the boss. And this is still using 1 key. And so you have to sort of find a balance where the amount of gems that you generate on turn 1 isn't going to devastate the boss from the start. And so what I'm doing here is I actually split up my gems so that I wouldn't actually deal too much damage. Now with this team, this particular team anyways, I'm gonna wait for 4 turns, because I want Ray's passive ability to actually kick in, where she will spawn 4 power gems. And combined with the Master Collection card's passive ability that also spawns gems, I can actually fill up the board here. And then I get 4 additional power gem once from my event card. And so what I can do then is, after I get everything, I still have the 24 times commander bonus, plus all of the power gems I matched. And this is going to give me just, that kind of a boost that I can get overkill even on a boss I don't have an overkill bonus for. And so next, what we're going to talk about is how do you use how you can use a non-ultimate form team to actually take this out. And so now we're going up against a level 300 Hercules. Again, you can use this, or you can use the support card. I put in the event card here just to give me a little bit of insurance, additional power gems. If you have one of them, definitely put one in, because with this particular kind of setup, now if you have the same setup I have, the thing is, you're not really going to be able to use the passive ability of the support cards. Your board is going to fill up with gems before you can actually take advantage of that. You might actually accidentally take out the boss. And now with this, I do actually have to be careful because I have killer bonus on right now. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I don't match everything. And it also helps if you don't match the gems with the commander bonus in there. So you can see here I got really close to taking it out, but I'm okay there. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the same thing and wait for 4 turns, and I'll be able to take out the boss here, and I'll be able to get the full 500% overkill. This is with this type of setup. Okay, so hopefully this helps you out. This is something that took a little bit of work to figure out, like, what the right. I didn't get the last one there, but I should be okay. So I think that was probably just enough. Yeah, so I was able to get. If I had gotten that last one, I would have definitely been okay. So there it is. This is a single, well, 3 keys, but this is basically like counts as a single key attack against the ultimate boss. This is prestige, right? So the choice I have here is whether or not I go higher up. I think I can just because of the teams I have, but it definitely is something that I think you have to consider. And I believe they have updated the prestige rules. If I remember correctly, if you take a look at their news feed, I think prestige now is available for you. Like, so that once you prestige, you can actually go to level 250 max, I believe. So let's take a look at the news feed here. If that's the case, then that really will save a lot of time. And so let's see. Yeah, so you can choose the boss level now. So during the Crusade event, you can now choose a target. Now, whether or not that takes away the banking of your ultra rare, ultra kill and overkill, I don't know yet, but we're gonna have to try that. And so the Reaper, do you think using Despot without Ray is not a good idea? You're using the MC event card, 2 supports, and if you're using the Despot without the master without Ray, then I would consider putting the Despot Despair as the leader, because the reason why I put Ray as the leader is so that I can get the 3 times bonus for all of my cards. But if you're using the Despot, then you're also taking advantage of its killer skills, killer bonus. And so in this case, I would actually put in 3 Slayer cards with one of them being in the leader position. And then you can put in 2 of the 1 event card and 1 support. You're actually probably going to get better damage output there. Or maybe what you can do is two Slayer cards, 1 Despair, and then one Master Collection card, and then your 3 commander cards. Just make sure that your leader is going to be one of the Slayer cards, because you want to take advantage of both the 3 times bonus and also the bonus that you get from the killer skill. All right, so that would be my recommendation. And so Queen Femme Fatale, you need because you can't hit. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna also talk about some other options, right? One of the things that we want to talk about is using the support cards here. So one of the things that let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and build this team, because I need to change this up. So in my opinion, with this new change to the deck overall, where you can go up to maximum of 30 stacks. If you're able to get 3 support cards, like let's say you open up the vault and you're able to get 3 total, including the free one that you get from the game, you should take advantage of this. So if you don't have any other good cards, just these 3 should help you a lot. And so in my opinion, like right now, what I have, like this is probably one of the better setups I have. Rebecca, you joined too late. I have missed all the good things. Yeah, I just kind of played a little bit, but yes, definitely watch it a little bit. Any idea how to take ultimate bosses? You can take level 7. I actually haven't done a whole lot of ultimate bosses just yet. It depends on your cards as well. So I'm using my Slayer ultimate form. So I haven't really tried it, although I think I might be able to get to at least level 6 or 7 as well. But it's similar strategy. Taking out ultimate bosses requires you to actually quit out of the boss fight early enough so that you can actually come back in with time to deal more damage. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. So this is all commander relics now, and so this is the setup that I think is going to be good. It should be strong enough to take out legend solo bosses, no problem either. So let's go ahead and try that. And so, yeah, that's the only problem with this deck, is that it takes a lot of time, and that's why having more support cards in here is going to help. And so Rock for Life, 2nd and 3rd team. Okay, so let me take a look, and I'll take a look at Queen Femme Fatale's team after this as well. All right, so let's go ahead and see here. So it's going to take a while. It is a sort of a slowish deck. It's really good, I think, for free-to-play players. This is something that I've always advocated for. So this is where I would say even 4, right? Even 4 support cards wouldn't be too crazy here, just because you can go up to 20. But I think with 3, what you want to do is probably go up to 18, and you don't need to go up to 20. So that will help you balance both, amount of time it takes to take out the boss and also the amount of damage that you can deal. And so let's go ahead and do it one more time so that we can go up to 18 stacks of persistence. And now what we're going to do is we're going to try to also farm our relics. So what we want to do is we want to use our relics to our advantage to also spawn more power gems. And you do that by clearing out gems as much as possible. And also on the second last turn, one turn before your persistence expires, let's go ahead and use this, and we'll use that. And so we didn't get enough to actually spawn more power gems, but that's okay. So like we were able to spawn 18 power gems there, and we should be able to take this boss out with enough damage for overkill. Let's see how much damage we deal there. Yeah, so this is going to be so we're going to easily get 300 overkill with a single key. Not going to be quite sufficient for Prestige 1 though with this particular setup, unless you have a cards that can generate power gem 4s to boost the damage there. But this is able to deal about 85 billion. And so what you can do with this is you'll be able to take out the solo legend boss in Prestige 1 with this particular setup, but it's not going to get full overkill. And so you're going to have to chip the damage down first, and then you should be able to do it even in Prestige 1 with this particular setup. So let's see. Doug Carafini, why didn't they put one of the dragon heroes in the collection cards? Oh, yeah, I know. I wish that they would put in there. It's kind of long overdue, so that we could actually get some good cards there. I agree with that. Do I use the Fire Slayer relics over Commander relics? So in this particular case, I used just Commander relics. In the Slayer, in the deck where I have Rey as the leader and I'm taking advantage of the Slayer bonus, I actually just put in all Slayer relics. Just because if I put in a Commander relic, it's not really helping my main damage dealer, and so it actually hinders my damage a little bit. So in the case where I am using my Slayer ultimate form killer bonus, I just use all Slayer relics. It actually will give you better damage, unless you don't have enough relics. Then you obviously put what you can in there. And so let's take this time. I haven't done this in a while, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna go and take a look at Queen Femme Fatale, and then Rebecca Johansson stacks, so that we can help out a little bit, because I think that seems appropriate right now. No problem. Did I spell Queen Fan Fatale? That's right? Why I'm not able to find? Did you change your username? Because I can't seem to find you. And I will do Rock for Life in the meantime. So I think you said the second and third team. Yeah. And oh yeah, so you guys know that you can also get Luana as one of the cards. This card is a really good card. It's basically the same card that is the ultra rare card of the light. How does it? What is the type? What is the type now? Highborn. And this card is the same as the Pumpkin Queen, not Pumpkin Queen. The Bride, right? Where it creates power gems every couple of turns, and this was a really good card to have, and a lot of people were chasing it, but you can now get it as one of the rewards. So I think that's actually really good. All right, so we've got Event Red that uses, so you've got the ultimate form, so that's good. So this card actually generates 8 power gems, so it should deal a ton of damage there. And you've got the Master Collection card, and you got the shiny, so that's good. And so Servants of Savagery is going to be good for you for for the ultimate boss, right? So this is what you would use because then you can also get the second bonus there. I guess the question is what you're putting in for the fifth card. And so you've got the Centaur. Okay. So this converts, in my opinion, I think you might actually be better off using another card rather than the Centaur. So this card, I don't know. So like this card, it only upgrades non-firepower gems, and you don't have any cards here that creates. Well, I guess you do. I guess you have the ultimate form here that does that. I don't know. I don't really know if I would prefer this or another card personally, but let me know how it's working out for you. But this looks like a good it looks like a good ultimate boss deck, whereas here, yeah, so that would be what I would want to see is that you're using ultra rare and a support card. So this is probably going to be your regular go-to commander deck. Looks good to me. I hope you're enjoying it. And oh, so you changed your in-game name. So Rebecca, let me know if I'm not sure if I gave you helpful enough input there, but I think that your team's good. I'm just curious about the fifth card for your just it might be necessary because you're creating the rainbow gems, so you can actually convert them. In this case, I think I wonder about health. I wonder about health because you're not generating any stacks of. I don't think you're generating any stacks of persistence. If it's not, let me take a quick look here. Let me just see if the ultimate form creates persistence, because if it does, then you're good. But if it doesn't, then I would actually recommend you putting in a ultra rare card in there, so that kind of helps with the heal. So I don't think, does it? Yeah, so it doesn't actually create the persistence. So if your issue is health, then you're going to have to find a card that can heal, and that is either through creating stacks of persistence, or what you want to do is put in another card that would give you a heal. Now, fire cards don't typically have good heal, but you can put in like the Wicked Queen or something, so that you can actually do that. So health is always going to be an issue, and unlike the last Slayer deck where you can basically survive forever, this one you actually need to find a way to stay alive. All right, so Queen Excelsior. Okay, Excelsior. So let's see. So hopefully after I explain sort of how you can use that deck, it helps you a little bit. And so let's see if you have the setup here. So you've also got this deck here, and so that is an option that you might look into because you're getting the bonus from your ultimate form. And so if you're using the 3 support, yeah, so basically in this case the activation order is just going to be, you want to activate your 3 Pandoras, and then I would just wait until it goes to 18 stacks, and then activate your Magma Ventrix before activating Thoth. Then you're going to get the maximum amount of power gems. But remember what I said is you're going to lose a little bit of damage from Thoth just because it's not Generation 3. But if you put in the God Relic in there, you can actually benefit a little bit from the attack boost. So I think this is a good, well-rounded team. And I'm just going to take a look here and see if we can help take a look at your cards here. So you have a non-ascend array. I would highly recommend ascending it if you can, because once you do, then you can build a very similar team to what I just showed, with Ray, a ultimate form, a master collection card, and then 2 support cards or 2 event cards, and you'll be able to deal a lot of damage there. So take a look at that as an option. Okay. And let's see, Chromosuck's only going to one tier this event, but you got Pandora's Box. That's good. And yeah, so I'm also saving for the Water Slayer, so that's why I'm not spending any gems on any of the you know, the new vaults that come out. So I'm saving my gens this time. I'm hoping to be able to go a little bit, at least tier 4 in the next vault. So yeah, it's a very slow deck. That is a unfortunate thing with this particular setup. If you expect to use the persistence stacks, then it's going to be slow. So one thing you can also consider doing is just utilize it earlier if the damage output is high enough. So Judge of All, welcome to the stream. No worries. And let's see. So Catherine, you got ultra rare 2 support. You got ultra rare 2 support and 2 events, but you keep dying. Are you dying in the in the commander in the the ultimate boss? One thing you want to consider is putting in a fire scepter, and so keep in mind that these cards, they actually provide heal based on the recovery. And so what you want to do is you want to put in a scepter if health is going to be an issue and you're relying on the heal from your stacks of persistence. Putting in a fire scepter increases the recovery of all your heroes. And so what that will do is that's going to increase the amount of heal that you get from your persistent stack, and that's going to help you with your survivability. And so that would be my recommendation. If you find that you're getting hit, you're dying too early, then put in a scepter. So sacrifice a little bit of damage for more survivability, and you should be able to survive a couple more turns before you need to quit out and come back in. But that's going to allow you to take deal more damage and hopefully take out the boss easier. And so Malfilmore, let's see, Dark Summoner Oriana. I haven't seen you around in a while. Yeah, so everyone is saving indeed for the Water Slayer. I think we're all expecting it to be we're expecting it to be the nuke, the nuke double hit deck, right? And so that is definitely something that we're expecting. And so for anybody who is just joining me in the stream right now, I'm going to put in this link again. And so this is something that is only available in the US right now, but I'm also going to try to have it be available in Germany and in London as well. It's going to be available in UK as well as in Germany at some point if it gets approved. And again, let me know what your thoughts are. I'm going to show you sort of a design idea I have for my next phase. And so take a look at this and tell me if this is something that you would like. So give me a comment below and let me know, and we'll see. So let's see, Summoner, Dark Summoner Oriana. I obviously spelled the name wrong, so let me try this again. Let's see, sorry about that. And Dark Summoner is one word. Okay. And so you're looking for maximizing your overkill and ultra kill. And so let's take a look at the deck that you have. So you've also got the Despot of Despair, and so if you have Ascend Array, that's going to help you getting your overkill and ultra kill for sure. Not sure if you saw what I did, but basically by putting in Ascend Array, and I'm just going to show you the team I have. So this is going to be the best way for you to get overkill. So this setup right here, now I have mine at three pink stars, so it obviously deals a lot more damage. So you could alternatively, what you can do is you can actually take out one of the support cards here, one of the commander cards here, and putting in another Slayer card. But what you want to do is you want to avoid taking out the boss on turn 1, and then you want to wait 4 turns for all of your passive power gems to spawn, and then activate all of your battle skills at that point. So this is going to be a 4-turn deck for your overkill and ultra kill. Okay, so you have the deck, you have the cards, you can set this up like this, and you should be able to take it out no problem. All right, and so let's see. So, what is the best way to tackle the ultimate bosses? Should you use the Rainbow Gem Ultimate form? It's going to give you the double damage boost, and so I would definitely give it a try, just because the additional killer skill bonus that you're going to get from it is going to be massive. And so it's just that, me personally, I just kind of feel like that the fact that it creates these rainbow power gems makes it a little annoying. But then what you want to do is you want to activate that first, and then the rest of your gem spawners, so that you can actually you can actually hopefully overwrite them and deal enough damage. I haven't tried it. Like, I don't have any of the ultimate forms from the commander events, unfortunately, so I haven't tried it. I'm going to go against it. I mean, I can do this right now. Actually, I can show you. I just need to get some keys, so give me 1 second. I just need to. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just get a bunch of keys right here. I'm going to loot a bunch of keys, and then I'm going to take on some. I guess what I'll do is I'll take on some ultimate bosses, and we can see how we can do there. But it's going to take a bit of keys, so I'm going to have to bank them a little bit. Let's see. So let's hope for Austria as well. Yeah. So like it unfortunately, like, they don't offer a whole lot of places just yet. I'm hoping that they open up more for sure. I think like people are asking about Australia and other countries as well. But so far, these are the 3 countries. So US, Germany, and UK definitely are going to be available. And so, Six, you like that one? So you like the dark one? Oh, really? That's hilarious. So Sandra Albert, is the design at a good size, or would it be small on the shirt? I'm still waiting for mine to be shipped to me, but I think that it's actually going to be the same size as the one that I have that I've shown you guys. So it's not going to be like overwhelming, and it's going to be big enough so you can still see from afar. And the dark one I showed is also a similar size. So it's like, right about the covers about your neckline area, and so that's about like typically the similar size that that you would expect. So Chromosex, thanks for the feedback. So all right, so let's see how many keys we've got here. We've got 30, so that should be good. Let's go ahead and spawn a boss, and let's see how we can do. All right, now I'm hoping that I can do well, because I have a good team here, and I wanted to change this. So this one is going to be, I think this is where I'm going to use 2 Ray, and I don't have heal. I don't have any heal right now, but I don't need it. I'm going to change it a little bit. 2 Ray, and maybe I'll do 3 Ray for now. So let's see how this team does. All right. All right, let's do this. So this is where, like, you have to sort of use the first couple of levels to sort of gauge how much health you have, and how much damage you can take, so that you can sort of see, at what point you need to exit. Now, the problem with these is that in a commander event, keys are limited, and so you can't just employ that. You can't just employ the same strategy where you simply just exit out and use 3 keys to come back in and hit like multiple times per boss. You want to save that as well. So that's definitely something to consider. All right, so I can see that I'm not actually dealing a ton of damage here, and I can't afford to wait 4 turns. So I don't think 3 rays is going to be the answer here, especially for a higher level. So I'm going to bring in another Master Collection card here. And so this will be enough, I think, for me to get to at least level 4 without worrying about dying. So let's go ahead and add a little bit. And let me go ahead and get my tag in a secret before they take it out. 1 second. Yeah, so Judge of All, I'll take a look. And again, I don't have enough experience with the Rainbow deck in a ultimate form fight, but I will definitely do what I can. All right, so let's try this. So what I can do is by removing the by removing Ray here, I'm actually reducing the overall damage by a little bit, but I'm increasing the number of times I can actually attack. So by having 3 of the Slayer cards in there, I can actually attack every 2 turns as opposed to waiting for 4 turns. So that way I can chip down the damage a little bit, and I may need to actually take out 1 more copy of Ray. And if I'm gonna take out Ray, I don't actually need to have her in there. I can put in an event card just so that I could get 10 times commander bonus. I might actually consider do that, and I might also bring in, maybe what I'll do is I'll put in the support card so I can heal a little bit. Right now, like I said, heal is not a great concern for me, and I should be able to take it out in the next turn. Okay, so we're gonna wait 1 more turn, so all of the so like this is sort of like the thought process here. You have to really think about when how much damage you can deal every turn, and use the first couple of levels to help you sort of decide, will you have enough health, will you have enough damage, and sort of like how quickly can you actually go through. So the problem I see here is that unfortunately I don't know how to use the commander deck to take this out, but this is how I would do it with my setup right here. And I think based on what I'm seeing here, I'm going to change this up a little bit. I'm going to put in my 4th one, and then I'm actually going to change this up for a commander. Let's see if this actually does a little bit better. So this is where I'm going to sacrifice a little bit of damage here. So I'm using my fire commander, and I'm going to put in my support card, but I'm making sure that it's not going to be my leader. All right, so you want to make sure that your Slayer card is going to be your leader here. So now this is going to be interesting. So I'm probably going to also have to take out 1 of my relics to put in a I'm gonna have to put in a fire scepter. So you can see that my health is also a little lower, so I'm experimenting right now just to see how much damage I can deal. So so this actually, I will deal more damage than if I put in 2 rays, because I have a 10 times commander bonus gem right there. So let's see. But what I'm getting here is I'm able to get, I'm able to get more power gems and more damage output here from my team overall. All right, so, and I can damage every 2 turns. And I'm hoping to get a little bit of heal every time. And you can see I'm also dealing additional nuke damage as well. And so every 2 turns, I'll be able to activate these cards, including the support card that gives me additional gems and also gives me additional heal. So this is a little bit of a bonus for me. So let's see. Yeah, unfortunately, I just, I didn't like the rainbow deck. It was just, it just doesn't quite fit other decks. Like, it doesn't play well with other decks, and which is really unfortunate. And so, the problem is, unless you have cards that can also override those additional gems, then you're losing out on the real estate of your board. You're losing out on the damage overall. So like when it came out, I wasn't too keen on it, to be honest with you. But with this sort of meta here where you need 2 ultimate forms to get the double bonus and to be able to do well, it kind of feels like you're having a little bit of a what's the word I'm looking for? It feels like you're actually a little bit at a disadvantage, if you will, playing that. So one thing that you could try is simply like not worrying about the second, because the thing is, if you don't worry about the second boost, especially if there's just a single pink star, you might actually be able to. Actually, let me just focus here. You might actually be able to deal better damage, like, because you're gonna build a better team that can give you, more heal, or you can fill the board better with your cards. And so that's something to consider. Like, if it might be better to simply not worry about it and to just use your ultimate form from this particular event and then try. So I'm really getting saved from my my nuke damage as well. So this is working out so far. I'm level 4, and based on this, I think I should be able to get to level 7. I think we'll stop there and we'll see how it goes. So you didn't really think about putting a Ascended Ray on your team and using stars. Yeah, so if you're putting a sergeant sausage in there, that would actually, do just fine. Like if you wanted to go with a mostly Slayer deck, that'll be fine. But I highly recommend putting in at least one of the commander cards from this event so you can get at least a 10 times bonus. It's going to help a lot. It actually, I think like every four power gem numbers gives you like a 2.5 times damage, and so it really does add up. And combine that with the killer bonus and everything, that is something that I would highly recommend. And so one thing that also with this particular deck, if you're playing this type of deck, I didn't do it very well. I'm going to do it this time. So notice how what I was doing is I was basically activating every 2 turns. I shouldn't have done that. I needed to wait one more turn in this particular case so that I could line up my passive ability along with my battle skill. I'm gonna tell you what I mean by that. So this very next turn, all of the cards are going to be available. I can actually activate them all, but I shouldn't actually do that yet. I need to wait one turn. And now what's going to happen is all of my passive abilities are going to trigger, and then I can go ahead and use my battle skill, so I can actually sort of get the most out of my damage output here. And now every 4 turns, I'll be able to get my damage along with my passive. So you can see like I deal a lot more damage here, basically close to 1 trillion on one card there. And so I should be able to take it out now in the next hit. And so you can sort of see now I'm getting hit every turn, and my health is, I'm okay, but I can see that my health is going to be a problem. So about level 7 or so is when I'm going to have to use a Fire Scepter so that I can heal a little higher, because I'm using the support card. Like I would rather use the ultimate card, ultra rare, so I can actually increase my stacks faster, and so it could actually heal a lot faster. So right now I'm actually so I'm gonna do what I didn't do is I didn't exit out in time. I'm gonna do one more boss, but I'm going to exit out so that I don't actually lose my placement here. So let's go ahead and do one more, and then we're gonna check out. We're going to check out other people's cards here. I think there's a couple people that were asking. I think Judge of All, you wanted me to check it out, so I'm going to take a look as well. So Toxic Blitz, you quit the game. That's unfortunate. It is difficult. I have to agree with you that it isn't easy being free to play, and so that is one of the things that I think I'm seeing some improvements in in these type of decks. So like these type of decks are good for free to play, although the problem now comes into the fact that, well, in order to compete, you really have to prestige, you really have to go after the ultimate bosses, and just a free to play deck isn't quite good enough to to do that. And so so for me, I'm gonna say here, I think that if you're a free to play player, you are going to be better off investing your gems in Slayer events rather than Commander events. If you're going to save up and if you're going to go all in on an event, I wouldn't do it in a Commander event. I would rather you give up on a Commander event and just go in on a really good Slayer deck that is going to help you more in the future. I feel that Slayer decks have more viability. They definitely are going to be a better option for you to be able to do better as a free to play, so that like the thing is it's going to take time. It's not going to be easy to I think I'm gonna, I hope I don't, okay, I have enough health. So like it is going to take time to build up all of your gems and everything, and you're not going to be able to open up the vault every single event. And that's why I think that saving it for the affinity you like, and also if you don't spend every event but rather every other event. No. I did it too late. So the way you want to do this is, just as the boss is dying, press the button, the pause button, and then you can then exit out, and then you wouldn't need to claim it. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to claim it here, and we're going to let it I can let it expire, and then we can I can go back and play a little bit later. I have more of the tokens anyway. So let's go ahead and take a look at Judge of All. And I think what you're hoping for is some ideas for how you can take out the ultimate boss. So in this particular case, this is where I don't know if having more ultra rare, having more master collection cards in here is going to be better for the ultimate boss. So this is the case where you might want to consider if you're going to put in servants of savagery in here. You have Revenge of Source, and you have Prometheus plus another Prometheus. This is already going to be enough to, I think, fill out the board. This is where I think putting in an ultra rare is going to be better for you for a couple of reasons. One, the ultra rare card is going to also spawn gems. And so when it spawns gems, you want to activate the last. When it spawns gems, those are going to be the ones to override these rainbow gems that's going to be created by your ultra rare here, the ultimate form here. And so you're going to be able to build 4 stacks of persistence every time, and that is going to serve as your healing factor. Okay, so that's what's going to help you with the heal. And depending on the number, so I see here with one pink star, I think you have 1 ultra rare, so definitely put that in there. I wouldn't put the support in, so I think your best option here would be to take out one of the master collection card and put in the ultra rare. Give that a try. I think you're going to find that you're surviving a little longer, and you might actually deal a little bit more damage because you are actually removing some of those rainbow power gems on the board. And so that's going to add to your overall multiplier and hopefully more to your damage as well. And so let's see, the relic only guaranteed on 3rd tier and only having a chance at the hero card for the freebie instead of yeah, so having to, like, let's take a look now, right? Let's take this opportunity and just kind of talk about the reality. All right, so the reality is it sucks not having enough gems event by event, and being a free-to-play player, it's hard to earn the gems necessary to open up all the tiers. And so some of the things that I think about is, if you don't have enough gems to go to tier 3, then my recommendation is you want to try to save enough gems then so that you can actually go to tier 3 in one of the events. And that does mean that you're going to have some events where you don't get anything, and that is going to make it harder. But that's why if you invest in a good deck and then have the patience to sort of use that deck when it's available, and being able to invest in a Slayer deck rather than a commander event deck, that's actually going to help you out. Like, that I don't have a single ultimate form in commander events ever since Generation 3 with the whole ultimate form concept started. I haven't had a single one, but I'm able to compete in the commander events because I have good decks from Slayer. If it was the opposite direction where I only have good decks in commander events, I wouldn't be able to compete in Slayer either with those decks. And so that's why, to me, I think going with that direction might help. And consider I would just consider also if they continue this, if they continue the trend of giving that sort of 50% off sale, where with the gems that you get, you can actually then buy more cards to hopefully fill out your team. That is another way to, I would say, hopefully help you build out the team. But I completely understand, it's, if you don't spend, it's going to be hard, and it is a reality of this. And so that's why one of the things I try to do is, I've been giving a lot of feedback on, look, we need to make our support cards useful. We need to make the support cards and the event cards that you can get from the from playing, you need to make it more useful than it is today. Like today, it really doesn't have much of a place in the decks, and I totally recognize that. And so that is a feedback I continue to give to the dev team as well. And hopefully that they'll start incorporating some of the ideas on how to make it a little bit more versatile so that we can actually use them more. There are a lot of games we can model from where every card is useful, right? And you just want to figure out how, and that also will advocate good deck building. Right now, there's not a lot of good deck building options, but hopefully we can do better there. So let's see. Me, myself, and 1100. Having trouble with the Crusade Ultimate bosses, already down the 2-1 level. Yeah, so I can take a quick look, but generally what I have been recommending here is depending on what you are using in your team, you want to focus on survivability. All right. And so if you're using the deck labeled, let's see, you're using deck labeled event. So let's take a look and see. So you're also using Despot Despair. Good. And you have two. So you said you're dying on level 2-1. Oh, are you talking about the Crusade ultimate boss? I see. Use a you want to use what word am I looking for? Use a delay card. So with this particular setup, you are better off just putting in. You're better off putting in the this card. So I can show you. Put in the magic tech. Yeah, put in the magic tech card so that you can actually delay. And that's what you do. So turn 1, you may die, but then you can also get a free revive. Then what you do is basically just use the, let's see, I think with your team, you should be able to use it every 2 turns to fill up the board. And so what I would recommend is actually not worry so much about using the full team here. If you're talking about Crusade Ultimate, then I would fill up the team with Fire Slayer. And yes, I would use the Despots of Despair, your Rodash, Flame Veiled Corruptor, so that's 3. Got the Scorch Horseman, so you got 4 cards there. So basically, I would use those 4 plus the plus your dwarf, and then make sure you have enough relics to fill out the board with power gems, and so that you could delay. You just want to delay. That is going to be your best bet against Crusade bosses. There's no time limit, and so delay is going to be the best option if you can't just overpower the deck, the boss there. And let's see. So Chroma sucks if you don't have anyone else looking. Yeah, so I can take a look here. So Burgess, Clivus, Tresk. I could definitely do that. Would a different order of the cards be better? It's not necessarily the order. I think it's just what cards you put in there. So what you have there. Keep in mind that the Crusade ultimate bosses, they deal a lot more damage as you go higher. And so what I would do is, because you're mixing your commander and your Slayer cards, your health is too low. And so you want to think of it as like you're able to think of it as how you would fight a GVG defender, where you're getting a free revive on turn 1. Like what you would do, you would delay. Right? Imagine you're going up against a guild versus guild boss, and there's no, there's no defense skills. The thing that you would do is delay. So that would be the card that you want to use to take out the ultimate bosses, especially since you have the Despot of Despair. It's going to really help out. So let's see. So Burgess, Clivus. So if Ascendant Ray would be better than Sausage in this case. Yeah, let's take a look. So Ascendant Ray really is, serving as there's a couple of things that it serves. It serves as a card that can give a commander bonus, and it serves as a card that can give the 3 times bonus to both commander and Slayer event cards. And so in a lot of situations, you're gonna get the best of 2 worlds in that case. But it may not necessarily be the case if you're using all Slayers. Sometimes using Ray isn't necessary, but she does give you that 4 times commander bonus, and that can actually be meaningful. And so let's see. Is that the deck they're using right here? Fire. If that's the case. So Ember Morriston's, right? You're using the Fire deck. That would be, if that's the one, then let's take a look at your. I feel like that's not the card, right? Is it? That's not the deck, right? If it isn't, Perhaps it is. Okay. So this is what I would recommend for this deck. I would recommend putting in Ascended Ray in as a leader. Put Sergeant Sausage and your Rodash. Okay. So that's the two. Those are going to be the two best cards for you in the Slayer side that you can put in. And then for the Commander cards, I would recommend putting in. Let's see first. Let's take a look at your Slayer cards. So Ascended Ray, Rodash, and Sergeant Sausage are definitely the three cards I would put in there. And if you wanted to put in Commander, let's see what you have for Commander. So you have the Pandora, so I would put that in there. And now the question is, what would you want to put in for the fourth card? And in this case, I would rather put in another Slayer because I think you have a better Slayer card that can actually help deal damage. And that would be... I would put in the Scorch Horseman just because you get two. It gives you 2 turn cooldown, so you can use it every 2 turns, and that's gonna help. But if you wanted to put in a commander card, then you could with this setup, do you have Ra? Ra could be good too. Flamefoot O'Hare is okay. I think I would rather, if you had another Ascended Ray, I would have said put that in. Like, you know, if you could ascend your second copy, it's going to be no brainer for me. Like, you would put that in. But given that you don't have her ascended, I would put in another Slayer, and I think I would put in the Scorch Horseman. So that would be my recommendation. Like, I think you're gonna get better damage output this way rather than just mixing as many fire commanders as well. So again, for this team, Ray ascended leader, Sergeant Sausage, Rodash, and then Pandora, and then what I think is the Horseman as the 5th card. So give that a try and see if that actually helps you out. I think it would. I think your damage output is going to be a little better. In fact, I can't use Sergeant Sausage as the card, but let's go ahead and build a team similar to what I showed you, so that we can actually try this. So let's go ahead and swap out this. So this is where I'm gonna show you how I would build based on the cards I saw there. So let's see. So I would put in, like I said, Ray as the leader. This is, this is where Legends cards really shine. And I think we have a Rodash, so I'm going to put it in there. And I think I said a Horseman. So let's go the Scorch Horseman. And what we're going to put in here as the commander is going to be Pandora. And then now the 5th card, I don't have Sausage. I don't have Sergeant Sausage. So for Slayer card, I can put in the Bacon Baron, for example. Okay. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to try this out just to see how this all works. And I'm going to, because I have a team that is mostly Slayer, I'm going to choose to put in my Slayer. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up against a legend boss just to test it out. Okay, so we're going to change this. And let's see how this works out. Okay, so this is more of a more budget friendly deck, if you will. Like we do actually have a Master Collection card in here, but overall this should be a more realistic deck. And so now the question is, what do we do, right? So I actually have, but the thing is, I do have more relics, and so Rodash will actually have Rodash has a passive ability that will create gems, and so that's what we're going to depend on. Okay, and so let's see how much damage we can deal with this particular setup here. So we've got, do I need one more? I might need one more turn. Let's see. So Ray is going to create the power gems. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna activate all of our battle skills. I guess I missed it, but here's basically all of the cards that deal all of the cards that can actually spawn power gems. I activated them first, and then I activated Pandora last. I mean, I could have actually activated Pandora earlier just so I can build it up, and I think that's another way to play is to I didn't get the bonus. Let's try this again with this particular setup. I should be with this setup. I just thought of something. Instead of putting in Bacon Baron, I'm going to put in another copy of Pandora. This is actually going to be a little bit more helpful than what I was thinking. So this particular kind of setup where you don't have like, really, really powerful cards, then you should take advantage of your the fact that you have a card that can give you really good power gem bonus. So let's give this a try. We're sort of live building a deck here that is... It's actually very similar to what I had shown earlier, but this one is going to be a little bit slower because we're going to be taking the time to build up our persistence. Okay, so we're gonna get some heal, and we're going to also get some power gems with this. So I think this is going to be a win-win, and we should be able to do this no problem. It's just that it takes a little bit longer. Right, so you're not going to be able to really, do this really fast. But if it sort of achieves the goal of being able to help you take it out, we're going to stop at stack 12. We're not going to go all the way to 16 or anything like that. We're gonna go to 12, and then we're going to end because I think 12 stacks actually should be enough. So like, if you have 3. Go to 18. If you have 2, go to 12. That's my recommendation. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna wait for the stacks to go down, and then let's see how much damage we can do with this. And the heal at 12 stacks should be okay. Again, like I said, if you're having a hard time with the survivability, then put in a scepter to help there. So we're just gonna do one more. And it's unfortunate that I'm going to lose a lot of my power gems there, but that's all right. So everything's going to come out, and then we're going to go ahead and activate everything. So we can actually fill out the board here, and then let's see how much damage we can deal. I think we should be able to deal more damage here. Yeah, so we deal a lot more damage this way than earlier. It took a lot of time, but this is where, play around with it a little bit. It's all about just, like, balancing the amount of power gems you have versus the commander gems that you'll get, and the damage is going to come from that. So this actually didn't require any ultimate forms or anything like that. It's just a balance of the two. So hopefully it helps you guys. And so I think that's pretty much what I wanted to cover today. And glad I was able to jump in and help some of you. It's been a while since I've done some sort of deck suggestions for you guys. So definitely let me know in the comments, and let me know what you think. If it's helped you, let me know. And also give me let me know what you think about the shirts. And like I said, the designs, I'm going to have my second design up soon. If you like the inverted color, then I'm going to go ahead and push it for submission. And then it should be available when it's available. I'll keep the link there. So I'm gonna also have the link also available in the description in this particular video, so that you can check it out. Vishal, so welcome. Thanks for joining here. You're on Prestige 2 right now. Should you go to Prestige 3? Keep in mind that it's going to be another 3 times health. So I think Prestige 3 is 10 times the health, instead of just the 9 times. So you're going to have a lot more health to deal with, and it depends. Like if you're easily getting your overkills, then getting to Prestige 3 will allow you to flex your muscles a little bit and get more trophies. But I think you want to consider where your comfort zone is at. If you're barely getting the overkill with 1 key at your prestige level, then I would recommend not going higher, just because you're going to end up running out of keys to get the same amount of trophies, right? So it's all about where that the balance is. Okay, if you're barely getting overkill, then that means you need to get at least 50% or 75% to to gain more trophies. Otherwise, you're getting about the same, but you're doing more work. And so that's the time when you need to be very careful about not going too far to the point where you end up actually getting your trophies slower, and you take more keys to get the same amount of trophies you would have gotten if you didn't prestige higher. So that's sort of the balance there. If you have a really great team and you can easily, like, shoot, like, way over the health amount, then go as high as you can. Go to the point where it just gets a little bit harder to get the overkill. I think that's when you need to consider stopping. And so also look at the part you left at the top of stream. So I'll take a look there. I'll probably have to answer that afterwards. I'm not sure, like, there's a lot of chat, so I won't be able to see that. And so you can get 6 trillion on Ultimate Boss at 9 keys. Yeah, so at 9 keys. Ultimate Boss, you mean 3 keys, right? So you mean 3 attacks? Yeah, so I can't, it's gonna be hard to say. I don't know. I would try it. I mean, it's still early though. It's still early in the event, and so the thing is, once you prestige, you can't go back. And so I would also take the opportunity to just kind of bank more trophies and just I see. So you can get 6 trillion at 9 keys. Yeah. So I mean, like, it's all about the ultra boss at the end, anyways. And so if using the same amount of keys, you can still overkill it, then that's gonna help you get the trophies higher. So give it a try. But I would there's a table somewhere. People have sort of let me rephrase this. Come to my chat room. Some people have actually a table of, like, how much health it is and where you need to get to so that you can actually optimize on the trophy count and whether you should prestige or not based on the amount of damage you can do. So come to the channel and ask about it. Ronan Ross will have that information so that you could actually take a look for yourself on whether you should prestige or not. Mount Fillmore, that's actually really awesome. So anyways, thank you so much, everybody. I wanted to end the stream around here. I think it's been a really good session today. I'm glad to have been able to help some of you out, and I think we had a really good discussion as well. And so hopefully this helps you with your attempts at the ultimate bosses. And again, let me know in the comments if there's anything else I can do for you to help. Please take a look at let me know in the comments below, or you can message me out. And Vishal, yeah, I will take a look at your chat, and we can definitely discuss more there. All right. Okay, so thanks a lot, everybody. Have a good evening, good morning, wherever you might be. Have a good event, and I'll see you next time. All right, take care. Bye now.